What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to talk about something that I often see new people to the hobby asking about, and that is how to sell your Pokemon bulk. Oh, yeah. Now, the first thing to do when you're trying to sell your Pokemon bulk is try and find a store that's willing to buy it.
What was that? Come again?
Easiest way to do that is literally just Google selling Pokemon bulk. You'll get a bunch of different card shops that'll pop up. Whether or not they're like accepting bulk shipments at the time is, should be listed on their website. I've sold to a card shop called Meta TCG before, and I've also sold to a card shop most recently named Geek Oasis. I've also sold to Danny Phantom's card store, Card Coliseum. I'll link all of those down in the description of this video.
Awesome!
My last shipment to Geek Oasis, I actually overfilled my box, and I thought that I had it securely, wrapped up, but I didn't, and it exploded in transit, which can happen. Luckily, it still ended up going to the store just in a giant tub of loose cards, and they counted up as much as they could that weren't, super messed up, and they gave me a payment for that, so I was pretty grateful. So it's probably why I'll continue to sell them bulk cards, because they were willing to work with me, through all that, and hopefully my next shipment doesn't explode. And they take energy cards, which is phenomenal because I have a whole stack of energy cards that I need to get rid of.
Hey, that's that's true.
The next step after that, once you have your card shop selected, is just, organizing and counting your cards. And that's the stage that I'm at right now. So let's crack open this coconut water, get hydrated, and start counting some cards.
The suspense is killing me.
All right, people. So this is how I usually will have my cards organized. You got our commons right here. Uncommons. We got our reverse holo uncommons. We got our reverse holo commons. We got our holo rares. We got our reverse holo rares. And we got our regular rares right here, which you probably won't have a whole lot of. I've opened up. That's probably mostly from Silver Tempest and Crown Zenith. Just because those, don't really have non-holo rares anymore. And then we got our EXs and full art bulks. Those are just cards that are selling for less than 50 cents that I'm just gonna bulk with the order, so.
Not bad.
Right here is all of my unorganized cards that I'm gonna sort through right now. Yeah, my desk is a little messy, but that's because I'm doing work. Hey you, what are you doing? Get out of here.
Well, pitter patter, let's get at her.
This right here is my flat rate box where I have some cards that I've already have entered the last stage of our endeavor. What I like to do is I will take 100 stacks of whatever card. This one is 100 common, and I'll wrap it up in paper just so I can keep them counted. Some card stores will like you to do this. Some of them will just tell you to just stack them in stacks of 450, but I find it easier just for myself to keep track by just putting them in stacks of 100 and wrapping a little piece of paper around it. It works for me. Whatever works for you. Don't use rubber bands though, because rubber bands can mess up the cards. That's why I use a little piece of notebook paper. Works pretty well.
Let's get this show on the road.
This to me is like the most, I don't want to say irritating, because it's not irritating. It's almost like fun in a way. You kind of just like sit back and turn your brain off and just sort cards. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. These holo energies save, because you can sell like a set of these holo energies, like 10 holo energies for a certain amount. It's pretty sweet if you open up a lot of 151 like I do.
Yep.
As well as save any trainer cards like this jet energy that are useful. I suggest going and watching Danny Phantom's channel, because that dude knows all of the stuff to save out of your bulk. Like this reverse holo boss's orders, definitely hold on to those. One stack done. And as you can tell, this is kind of a time-consuming process, so I'm not gonna force you to watch me do the whole thing. We'll just skip ahead till they're all sorted.
A few moments later.
Now that that is done, I'm just gonna count all of the cards into stacks of 100. So let's do it. I'll angle them like crisscross like this, so I know which one is which. So that's 2 stacks of 100. Kind of go up. I don't want to go too high because if they all fall over, you gotta recount. I'll go about 5 stacks high, 500, you know, in each pile, and then once I get them all counted, I'll wrap them all up and put them in that box.
Two hours later.
All right, when you wrap your cards, just make sure you got it nice and tight, so that way nothing can be sliding around. I think some places, some stores will tell you to wrap it in like a plastic bag or like a shopping bag or something, but I've always found this is like the easiest way for me to keep track of them. And you just write what it is, 100 common. And this is important. The reason I label all this stuff is because sometimes I'll just like add to bulk shipments as I go, you know, like if I'm opening up a bunch of stuff, I'll just keep, you know, sorting it, opening more, sorting that, opening more. And you kind of like, I kind of have lost track of like how much I have in my box already. So always make sure you label everything and make sure you have a separate sheet of all of the cards you have in your box and just keep it in your box, just in case you don't fill it up and you're waiting for, you know, to open up more cards, put more cards in there. That's really important because you definitely don't want to have to break it all down and start all over again, and I have done that, so.
Yeah, right? Right, yeah.
Just want to take a second also to show you how to orient the packs of cards in the box. This is going to save you the most amount of space. It's a little bit snug on the bottom layer, but once you start getting up, it ends up getting not so bad. But yeah, like that first layer is the hardest to get through just because it doesn't quite want to fit. But if you just reinforce the outside of your box with tape, with tape, kind of like I have, it should be fine. And don't overload the top. But yeah, they stack up. Usually you'll get about, 4 stacks. So 4 stacks, 400 will be up to here. So you can throw in another couple stacks of 50 up on the top, if that is easy for you. If not, you can just put some bubble wrap in there and make sure the cards don't go flying around. If you are nervous that it's gonna break, just, you know, take some of the cards out of this orientation and stack them on top of each other. Just get that empty space full of bubble wrap. You'll be good to go.
Yeah, what he said.
All right, I got all my bulk sorted, got it all labeled. It's a completely different day because that's how long this kind of stuff takes. You might be wondering, is it worth it? I personally think it is because I myself have thrown away a ton of bulk cards before I even knew that I could sell it to anybody. And it was at least 3 times the amount that I have right now. It was so much, and I really wish that I had known what I'm trying to tell you guys right now back then, because I would have been able to get, you know, a lot of money back on some of that stuff and gotten more cards with it.
Bummer, dude.
But yeah, the most important thing that I can say is just kind of shop around, look at different websites, look at different card stores that are, you know, accepting bulk shipments, send them your buy list, let them get back to you. It might take them a couple days, but it's worth it. You know, even if the process does take a couple of weeks, you know, for them to get the cards, count them, send you your money back. It's just stuff that's lying around. You might as well sell it back, give it back to somebody who's going to use it, you know. And most of the times those card stores will put together decks and sell those to kids. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully that helped you out with your bulk selling. Let me know in the comments down below. If it did, sweet, awesome. I'm glad I could help out. If it didn't, and there's, you know, you have other questions or anything else you want to know, just let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.